I have 5 stretches for you that could be done daily after 50. Number 1 is for your piriformis, deep in your hip. You're going to do what I call the number 4 stretch, lying on the floor, cross one ankle all the way past the opposite knee, and then thread that leg like a needle, pull the knee towards you, and hold that while you push the other knee away. Repeat on both sides. If that feels a little bit too much or you want a challenge, I've got both options for you. Standing, you could do this as a yoga pose. Pointing that knee that's crossed over toward the floor opens up the hip even more. Great balance challenge. Now, if those seem too much, you can do this sitting in your chair or add while you're at work. Do this one, nobody needs to know. So you cross that leg over and then you position yourself, hinging from your hip with a flat back. Try not to roll or round, and lengthen your chest over that knee. Repeat on the other side. All right, let's get the hip flexors because we sit so much. So in a standing position, what you're stretching is the back leg. Push that back heel down to the floor or as close to that as you can come and press your hip forward. Second way to do that, a little deeper, we go to the floor, drop the knee down if you can do that, and press forward through the glutes. And last but not least, for the big fig Newton, against the wall with your foot up the wall. Now, not everybody can do this. Your leg may cramp, not uncommon. But we start down, and I like to hold this one for about a minute. Try to let your hips and hip flexor relax. Then coming up, you're getting a much more intense stretch. But it's key that you're reaching down with your knee, reaching up with your core to enhance the stretch. Next, we're going to open up the chest. So if you're over a computer all day, and who isn't, we're going to do this in 3 positions. So through a doorway makes it most easy to do both at the same time. Start down in a V position, opening up the chest and those fibers. Then do it about shoulder height, opening up the fibers as they run parallel to the floor. And last but not least, you'll do it up high, holding each one of these stretches, and that goes for all of them, 15 to 30 seconds each. Now you'll get more benefit if you want to repeat them 15 to 30 seconds each than you would holding them beyond that point. Next up, we're going to look at stretching in a slightly different way, and this is to also open up the chest, but very passively. So you see what I'm doing is opening up the thoracic spine in the upper back and chest from all that rounding over that we do. So I happen to have a foam roller. I've worked my way back, allowed my head to fall backward as long as I'm comfortable with that. Now you could use pillows if you don't have a foam roller. And you could use a pillow even under your head if your neck is not comfortable being all the way tipped back. Do support your head when you come up and out of this passive stretch. But this one is a really nice one. You'll feel an ah moment. We're next going to look at the shoulders. Opening them really goes hand in hand with opening up the chest, but a downward dog is a great shoulder opener. What we're doing is putting a little weight on those shoulders as well as opening them, but from that, doing follow-up stretches with the shoulders may get you some more benefit. It's this idea that we're applying tension and then the muscles relax from that tension and allow you a little bit more movement. Reaching your hands behind your back, collapsing them, and then reaching upward and over, both. Keep reaching up, 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 and away from you as you fold over. There's another passive stretch here for the shoulders, putting that foam roller underneath you lengthwise, right along your spine, and then opening up. What you see here is I have 2 short foam rollers. I've just put them end to end. Ideally, if you have a 36-inch foam roller, it'll work better for you just to use that single, and just simply open your arms out to the side. Stay there for 30 seconds or a minute, passive stretching, just as long as you're comfortable doing it. Deep breathing helps. Last but not least, I have a multitasker for you. You're going to do a hip opener spine rotation combination. So starting down on the floor in what we'd call a runner's lunge or prayer balancing pose if you're familiar with yoga. You're going to use your opposite elbow, leverage against that knee to really rotate through the spine and enjoy that deep opener through the hip by pushing back through your heel and then dropping your hips down a little bit more. You'd, of course, do that on both sides. Opposite shoulder, or we can reach up simply and rotate in the opposite direction as well. Just a lunge and a reach. I like to do this as a dynamic warm-up as well. Now, if getting to the floor is an obstacle for you, you can use a chair. And I just happen to have, this is my only chair, so these are high, but you can stand and rotate. So the leg comes up, you rotate over the opposite knee. Last but not least, for a more dynamic version, and again, a great warm-up activity, rear lunge and rotate over the opposite knee. That's it. More for you at flipping50.com or join the 12-week Stronger program. flipping50.com/get stronger. See you there.